Now at 10, Indigo Sky Casino reaches out to law enforcement and victims after a data breach. Plus, cleanup continues after a water pipe burst at the Jasper County Courthouse in Carthage. And the city of Wyandotte unveils its newest firefighting tool.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Indigo Sky Casino in Wyandotte, Oklahoma notifies victims of a data breach incident. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Dow Quick. The casino says it learned about the breach on December 1st. The breach included employees' personal information, including names, driver's license numbers, social security numbers, and medical information, as well as some patron information. Indigo Sky has since taken steps to secure their systems and notify law enforcement. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy for a first look at the weather.
Well, of course, temperatures a little bit better for us today, but still below normal for this time of the year. 42 was our high, started at 25. 45 is our average high. So thankfully, we've had 2 days in a row that we've gotten above freezing, but now we're going to slide right back into the deep freeze as we go through tonight. So it's 30 in Joplin, it's 27 in Pittsburgh. Look at the colder air, 24 Yates Center, 24 in Iola, still lower 30s once you get into southwest Missouri, but that colder air is filtering in. It's 6 in Lincoln, it's 11 in Goodland. So we're going to be in the deep freeze once again as we go through the next couple days. On top of that, northerly winds are starting to pick up. These are sustained 10, 15, 20, 25, 28 miles per hour, which leads to wind chill advisory for about the next 48 hours. I'm going to break all this down and what's next coming up here in just a bit.
See you soon. Operations at the Jasper County Courthouse in Carthage ground to a halt after a water pipe burst and flooded the building. KOAM's Anthony Saviello gives us a look into the aftermath of last night's incident.
Ceiling tiles collapsed to the floor, electronics soaked beyond repair.
Got here about 8 o'clock and there was probably 2 inches of water on the floor in my office. All the electronic equipment except for my server was ruined, totally soaked. From copiers, scanners, computers, soaked.
County Collector Stephen McIntosh's office is just one that was completely destroyed by the rushing water. According to County Commissioner John Bartosh, Wednesday night was very busy for elected officials.
Down here, the water on the streets was about ankle deep. That's how much water was pumping through here. When the fire extinguisher line broke, those pumps kick on and it just starts pumping water.
The courthouse had finished renovations a few years ago, but for McIntosh, his office had just finished its own renovation last week.
Just last Friday, the final item on the punch list was done. We were done after 2.5 years, and now we're going to have to start all over.
As of now, both Bartosh and McIntosh say the main priority is to get operations back up and running.
Very disappointing, but everybody's got in a good mood. They know we're going to get back at it.
Our offices in Joplin are not being able to do anything until probably early next week. When the power gets restored, maybe late tomorrow, then the IT people come in and make sure the server is actually okay and up and going. Then we can at least function in Joplin.
Reporting in Carthage, Anthony Saviello, KOAM News.
The county collector and assessor's offices will remain closed until the power can be restored to their server. Once that's done, people who need services from those offices will have to visit the Joplin location. Some local schools saw students for the first time today since the winter weather hit the 4 states. While some districts used snow days, others also took advantage of AMI days. That stands for Alternative Method of Instruction, which means students are studying from home. Carthage schools, for example, had 1 snow day and used 2 AMI days.
Well, I think the concept was born during the pandemic, but I also think that just now that the technology is there for a lot of schools and that kids have the ability to learn from home, virtually, I think that it's an opportunity now that the state has implemented.
If it's too cold outside, I don't like staying out there for very long, so it's nice to have something to come inside and do when you're not outside doing stuff.
Not every district in the area uses AMI days. Carl Junction schools, for example, chose not to use them. We tried reaching out to that district, but they were not available for interviews today. Missouri Southern today hosted Campus Involvement Day. This annual event is for all registered student organizations, departments, campus clubs, or programs to promote their organizations to the student body. The event provided a way to introduce new students to organizations and opportunities.
I think it gives them a chance to see, where they can fit in or where they can belong, or maybe just find out stuff that they never knew even existed.
Every single time they have one of these involvement fairs, I get so excited. There are so many new clubs this year. That's probably my favorite part about it, is just getting to see all of the different clubs that we have going on.
The Campus Activities Board will host an escape room event on Thursday, February 1st. The Wyandotte Fire Department welcomes its newest firefighting tool today, this brand new truck. The 11-foot wet rescue truck has a ton of storage space, including a 300-gallon tank with an integrated 12-gallon foam cell and a 100-foot hose. The team looked forward to the truck so much they braved the recent sub-zero temperatures to pick it up. Later in sports, tournament time tips off once again here in the four states. John has highlights from the four-state classic at Frontenac. But first, a new law cracking down on money laundering could have an impact on some local small businesses. We don't yet know the local impact, but Leggett & Platt is restructuring its national operation and expects to eliminate 900 to 1,100 jobs and close at least 15 facilities. The manufacturing company, headquartered in Carthage, produces components for use in bedding, furniture, seating, homes, offices, airplanes, and vehicles. The company approved a restructuring plan, but it has not yet said what specific facilities will close. An international manufacturer of industrial batteries will set its first North American headquarters in Missouri. TAB announced today the establishment of a more than 66,000 square foot headquarters and assembly facility in Liberty, Missouri. It'll create 50 new jobs. The company's new location will provide proximity to its customer base, and they say the ability to quickly distribute products throughout North and South America. A new anti-money laundering law requires small businesses to report information about ownership to the federal government. KOAM's Amber Jenkins spoke with a local tax specialist who says small businesses need to be aware of this new requirement.
At the start of January, the Corporate Transparency Act went into effect, meaning small businesses must report financial records to the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network. The purpose, to help prevent money laundering.
It would be small businesses. There are exceptions to larger corporations and a few other entities. But for the most part, if you're not already reporting to FinCEN in some way and you're a business, you should look into this and find out whether or not it applies to you.
Businesses have until January 1st of 2025 to make sure this is all filed, but if they miss the deadline, the consequences could be costly.
There are civil penalties. It's $500 a day that you're in non-compliance. There are criminal penalties, up to 2 years imprisonment and up to a $10,000 fine.
The Corporate Transparency Act was introduced in 2021 and approved in 2023. However, some small business owners might not be aware of this new requirement.
As soon as we found out that that really was going into effect with the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, it hasn't really been talked about a lot. We really wanted to get it out to our members so they knew that this is a form that they're going to have to fill out. It is required.
Even new businesses created in 2024 needs to file.
With the different stipulations, when your business was incorporated, anytime after this year from January 1st of 2024, you have 90 days to fill out the paperwork, and anytime before that, you have until the end of the year.
Small business owners can file this information themselves, but the Chamber of Commerce recommends reaching out to a professional.
Not recommended to do that since this is a first time. Nobody really knows the ins and outs of this paperwork at this time.
Reporting in Jasper County, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
Federal government is offering webinars and other information to help business owners navigate those new rules. A little bit later, a pair of ARMA athletes make the jump from high school to university. John's going to have details on the Viking seniors taking their game to the next level.
Plus, we're sliding back into the deep freeze once again for us tonight. Those details coming up.
Funeral.
Well, we got back into lower 40s for highs for us today. Close to our average high, just a little bit below, but now we're sliding back into the deep freeze. Actually, it's occurring right now as that cold air is sinking in. Nice shot. This is Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Of course, Indigo is just outside of Seneca, Missouri. All right, all day long, we were pretty good above freezing, and still a lot of areas are sitting above freezing, but we're going the wrong direction quickly. Grand Lake 34, 32 in Monette's down to 28 in Nevada. It's 24 in Iola, Yates Center, Neodesha sitting at 25. And look at the Arctic air, which is sinking south. 1 in Sioux Falls, 6 in Lincoln. Des Moines is at 8 degrees. Now, good news, this super cold air will retreat by the second half of the weekend, but until then, it is going to be around. Wind chill advisory as well. This is due to the winds picking up and the cold temperatures. We have northwesterly winds. These are sustained right now, 15, 20, 25 miles per hour. In fact, if we pull out the gusts, they've been picking up over the past several hours. You can see gusts of, look at that, Fredonia, 43, 37 miles per hour in Yates Center. So that causes an issue when it's already in the 20s and we're getting gusts 30 upwards to 40 miles per hour. And that's what we're going to have throughout the overnight hours tonight. And that's why you have a wind chill advisory. Still northwesterly winds near 20 for us tomorrow. And then they start to taper off as we go into Saturday. It's still going to be breezy, but it gets better. So this means wind chills really drop. So dangerously cold tonight. Wind chill factors near minus 20, which is rivaling as cold as we have been over the past week. And wind chill factors only get to minus 5 to 0 during the daytime hours tomorrow, and then plummet again to about minus 15 by the time we get into Saturday morning. All right, a few little snow showers kind of shooting across mainly northern Missouri into parts of Iowa. We have had at least a few little flurries kind of sinking through, but not a big deal. Out to the west, here's our next storm system. That system will start to affect us by Sunday night and into Monday. Until then, we're going to be dry, just cold. Actual temperature, 8, 9 degrees tonight. We don't really go anywhere tomorrow, mid-teens, and then we should get 18 to 20 during the afternoon. You can see 17 Nevada, 17 in Chanute, 19 in Bentonville. Tomorrow night, we plummet, overnight low, about 3 degrees. And remember, those wind chill factors are going to be down there. Saturday, not much better. High temps right around 20 to 22 degrees. And then it gets better by Sunday. All right, day planner, 12 at 11, 17 at 3, 14 at 7 p.m. We do warm back into the 30s at least by Sunday, but we have chances for a little freezing rain and sleet moving in by Sunday night into Monday morning. All right, only 20 tomorrow, 4 tomorrow night, 23 on Saturday. And again, those wind chills are going to be way down there. Back to 38 Sunday, and then 40s all next week. So similar to what we had today, which is going to feel much better than what we're going to have over the next couple days.
I know there are people on this planet who have to deal with single-digit temperatures a lot more frequently than we do, but I can't imagine anybody really ever gets accustomed to this.
No, it's not fun.
No, it's not meant for human beings,
Nope.
I don't think. Thanks, Doug. If your New Year's resolution was to make some serious lifestyle changes, Cox Monette and the University of Missouri Extension has help for you. Enrollment is now open for Prevent to Monette. It's a year-long lifestyle change program featuring hands-on experience with nutrition education, physical activity, and stress management tools, stress management from a trained lifestyle coach and fitness instructor. That program is set to begin on March 25th. Still ahead, it's tournament time for high school basketball teams in the 4 states, and 2 classmates at Northeast High School commit to the same college. John Dales has those stories and more. It's up next.
This week only. Deal. Get any phone free when you switch.
It's an exciting morning at Northeast High School in Arma. Two Vikings seniors signed their letters of intent to continue their academic and athletic careers at the collegiate level. But not only that, they're also going to the same school. A couple of student athletes in Southeast Kansas have signed to play at the collegiate level. Dawson Schroth, heading to University of St. Mary for track and field. His classmate Braden Young also going there for football. Both of them are hoping to grow athletically and beyond at their new school.
I, of course, want to get my degree in psychology and use that later on in life, but on the sport aspect of it, I want to attempt to make it to nationals in my, not just as a team, but in my specific events.
They really wanted to get to know me rather than get to know me as just a recruit. They were asking me personal questions and asking me like what I like to do in my free time, and it made me really feel at home.
Over to high school basketball, it is tournament time. This week we've been covering the Tony DeBray Classic in Liberal. This afternoon, the Four-State Classic at Frontenac tips off. Seneca boys basketball across state lines this afternoon in Frontenac, taking on Fort Scott, who has just one loss on the year. Tigers land the first couple punches. Dirk Kegler hits the floater in the lane for the first points of the game. Then Cal Cousins takes a couple of dribbles inside the three-point line and nails the jumper, makes it a 4-point Fort Scott lead. Seneca battles back though. A couple minutes later, still in the first quarter, Morgan Vaughn muscling this one in from the low block. That ties the game. Then Zane Grotjohn hits the three ball from the corner. Indians stretch to a 7-point second quarter lead. No panic from Fort Scott though. Kegler, finding himself open on the wing, calmly drains the three-pointer. The Tigers run away with it in the second half. They win by 20, 62-42. Webb City boys basketball also in Frontenac tonight. Their opponent, the Owensville Flying Dutchman. Starting things off in the first quarter, Baron Duda with it. He steps back and nails the jumper for three. Cardinals off to a 20-9 lead. How about this play? The steal by Baron Duda, the drive by Gabe Johnson. He finishes it off for two. Webb would lead 29-20 at halftime. Start of the third, though, Flying Dutchman fighting back. Brady Watson passes to Chase Crosby. He sinks the three. That give him one more as well as he got fouled. Owensville making it interesting. End of the third, Charles Hazelwood drives and hits the buzzer-beating three. Lead is cut to just two, but that's as close as it would get. Holton Keefe misses the three-pointer. Duda gets his hands on it. Money from beyond the arc. The Cardinals go on a 17-0 run to start the fourth quarter. Webb City survives the comeback attempt to win it 73-53. Over at Pittsburgh High School, a few local teams do battle with schools coming in from several different areas across Missouri and Kansas, like Wichita, Kansas City, and Springfield. Carthage facing Blue Valley Northwest in the opening game of the Bill Hanson Memorial Tournament. Opening minutes of this contest, Lady Tigers getting after it. Jaden Brunnert knocks down the three from the corner. Later in the first, her teammate, Lauren Choate, shoots and scores from beyond the arc. Carthage stayed hot in the first. This time, Lexi Youngblood opened for three. She shows off her range. Lady Tigers up by 6 at the end of one. But Blue Valley Northwest starting to wake up. Elise Rose-Didier makes the layup in transition. Huskies up by 6 at half. Second half now, Maggie Boyd puts in a three-point shot. But Blue Valley Northwest just too much. Elise Rose-Didier beats the buzzer at the end of the third. Blue Valley Northwest goes on to beat Carthage at 61-29. Carl Junction hitting the floor tonight in the opening round of the Bill Hanson Tournament. Lady Bulldogs facing Olathe North. Early in the game, Kylie Scott, the nice pass to Anna Birch. She knocks down the jumper. CJ leading by 4. Later in the half, Scott taking over. She posts up and works around the defenders for 2. Next possession, you already know what's coming. Scott with the layup. Then in the second quarter, showing off the range. Scott from beyond the arc for 3. The Oral Roberts commit finished the game with 20 to lead all scores. In the second half, Desi Williams goes into the lane, turn around to get the shot off. Lady Bulldogs up 12 into the fourth. Jaden Howard hits the jumper. Then CJ Ice is the game as Deshae Berge opened for the basket. Pearl Junction moves on in the winner's bracket. CJ beats Olathe North 52-39. And I like when you have a tournament like this, you get to find out all the fun mascot names at other schools.
Yeah.
Flying Dutchman has been one of my favorites so far.
Flying Dutchman.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to know the history of that
I would too.
mascot. We'll be right back.
Premier gaming destination is starting 2024 with plenty of
A four-state hero.
Joplin Public Library showcasing the work of some Joplin High School art students. The library today opened the exhibit called Surrealism. It features drawings and paintings made by students in a surrealistic style, which often features unnerving, illogical scenes. But some amazing works of art there. It's going to be cold again, Doug.
It is. We're going to drop to about 8 tonight, and wind chill advisory tomorrow, high temp of 20.
Final sports note.
Riverton and College Heights boys each win in the Lancer Classic in Southeast. They'll play tomorrow. We'll be there.
Very good. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow. Let's make it a great one.